Writer and director Lee Cronin's feature film debut, The Hole in the Ground, has everything a horror film should have. It has creaky doors and an old house in the woods, an occasional jump scare, but not too many, spiders, creepy music, wind, an old woman who speaks gibberish, a little boy who says, "Mummy," and of course, a hole in the ground. What is missing, however, is that creepy factor that audiences should get from a movie like this. The movie starts off well as it follows Sarah O'Neill, played by Shauna Kerslake, a single mother who has moved to a small town in the Irish countryside with her son Chris, played by James Quinn Markey. We learn quickly that this was to escape her abusive husband. I wonder if any filmmakers have ever thought to have a woman move just because she wanted to live outside the city instead of running away from something. Anyway, in this little village where she drives around in a rusty old Range Rover, she comes across an old woman who is creepy. We learn more about her later at a dinner party. One guest tells the story that the woman is crazy because she ran over her own child, basically saying her child wasn't her child. Foreshadowing, anyone? The day after they encounter the old woman, or perhaps 2 days later, I don't remember. Anyways, Sarah and Chris get into an argument, and Chris runs off into the woods near the home. While chasing him, Sarah hears Chris scream next to a giant sinkhole. But don't worry, audience, because Chris is fine. Or is he? As the film progresses, we learn that he isn't. Or should I say, we watch Sarah learn it. As an audience member, we figure it out as soon as they show his character standing next to the sinkhole. Now, I'll admit that I'm a bit critical of horror movies. I didn't like Hereditary, which everyone else seemed to like, and it is hard to make a good horror film nowadays because it's all been done before. So I do want to give The Hole in the Ground some credit. I imagine that if I would have taken my girlfriend to see this film, she would have been freaked out. She hates spiders and horror films, really. For me, though, I found that The Hole in the Ground tries to scare us by including nearly every horror film cliche available. Cronin also tries to let the audience scare themselves sometimes by showing a close-up of Kerslake's face for a large portion of the film, with the action happening off-screen. This is supposed to create suspense and let our imaginations create the fear, but it doesn't work in this film. Shauna Kerslake does her best in what amounts to a mediocre script and a new director still learning his craft. Cronin has the potential to be a good director. He just didn't quite make it on this film because he played it too safe. Which is fine. I know he had to make the Irish Film Board happy and everyone else that gave money to the production. I'm sure they all had their little inputs and they, of course, all wanted to make their money back. But hopefully next time he'll be able to step out the boundaries a little bit more and play it a little less safe. I think in that scenario, he'll actually make a pretty damn good horror film. So if you're a horror snob like me, I probably wouldn't recommend this film. If you are most everyone else, well then, yeah, go see it. I mean, one, it supports an Irish filmmaker, it supports a first-time director on his feature film, and it's okay. It's an okay film. It just didn't scare me. Also, if you like this film, great. Don't be an asshole and leave a comment below. Be like, you're a fucking moron because you didn't like this film and I like this film and I'm a fucking brilliant genius, so I'm right and you're wrong. Okay? My opinion might be different than your opinion. If you want to leave a valid comment, feel free to leave a valid comment. Just don't be an asshole about it, okay?